Ladies and gents, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Today, this article comes from World of Real. It reads, The Acolyte had a budget of $230 million. Wow, so it looks like we finally got the numbers for how much that Star Wars Lucasfilm series cost. This article is written by Jordan Rumi. Let's read a little more into it. Disney has revealed that its controversial Star Wars show, The Acolyte, came in over the production budget, with its cost hitting over $230 million via Forbes. That's $50 million more than the Dune Part 2 budget. You can bet that if The Acolyte was any good or had higher viewership numbers, then Disney would have never pulled the plug on it. It's as simple as that. Fact was that The Acolyte was not as popular as Andor, which cost $250 million, and it certainly didn't come anywhere near the numbers for The Mandalorian. Ever since its cancellation, we still haven't heard from The Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland. She claimed to be a Star Wars superfan, but that wasn't enough of a reason for people to watch the show she created. The first episode had high numbers, but viewership kept free-falling as the season went along. The series disappeared from the Nielsen's charts after its third episode. And that basically concludes that article. Very short article, guys. I think we were kind of speculating on how much this show cost. We've seen these bloated budgets before. We've seen this with Marvel, and obviously all this is owned by Disney at this point. They own all these IPs, but we've seen this with Marvel series that they've had. I think She-Hulk costs like something like $200 million, something crazy like that. And now we have Star Wars, The Acolyte. I actually didn't know that Andor cost $250 million, but these are huge budgets for shows that don't really do well. I want to say that the only successful Star Wars shows that Lucasfilm and Disney Plus has put out on their streaming platform are Mandalorian Season 1, 2, and Andor. I'm not going to throw Ahsoka in there. I heard mixed reviews about that. I don't think the numbers were bad, but I also don't think they were super high numbers as well. Not enough to compete with those three that I just named. And also, Obi-Wan was one that had a lot of mixed reviews as well. I think people tuned in, but like I said, it's not competing with the numbers of those three. But yeah, $230 million for a show that did not do well at all. That cannot be good for Disney. I wonder if people are really paying attention to the news lately. I believe Disney said they're laying off about 11,000 people. So it just seems like when one of their shows doesn't do well, they start cutting jobs, which isn't really fair to the people that are employed by Disney. Earlier this week, we talked about the possible conclusion of the Mandalorian series, so Disney Plus is not going to be able to lean on that. I know they are pushing the Mandalorian and Grogu film. I'm sure they're trying to make a lot of money on that and bank on selling merch, but after that, what else do they have? I know that Ahsoka Season 2 is in the works, but I have not gotten any word on if they're actually filming the show right now or if they haven't even finished writing the show. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with Disney, but I thought that article was really cool. Now we officially have the budget for The Acolyte, which is a failure on Disney and Lucasfilm, and that failure cost them $230 million. Another thing, guys, when you're doing shows like this with extremely bloated budgets, there's no way to get your money back right away. You're really just hoping that your subscription numbers jump up, and I don't think The Acolyte got enough people interested to boast those subscription numbers up to the level that Disney was happy with. So this is a big loss and a big write-off on them. As far as Disney falling apart, that's not going to happen anytime soon. They own too many assets. They own too many IPs. They have too much cash flow. If anybody knows anything about business, as long as you have those things, those three things that I just said, you'll never officially actually run out of money because you can keep doubling down and leveraging. But this is not a good direction for Lucasfilm or Disney at all. So they're really going to have to figure out what's going on, how to circle the wagons, maybe get some new blood in there and get some good ideas going, because at this point, Star Wars is entering the realm of no return. So with that being said, guys, that is going to wrap up that article. Cool article. We got some inside information on how much that show costs. Let me know what you think about this article in the comments. Let me know if you saw The Acolyte and what you thought about the show. With that being said, guys, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, share with a friend, and as always, be safe.